Okay, here we are. We're out in the factory at DW, and this is where we tune drums. So I want to make this real simple, nice and quick, and easy to understand. Now what you should do if you're trying to tune is be comfortable at your house or at the gig or wherever you might be. Find something like a turntable like this that you can set on top of a road case and get comfortable with. Because if you're on your hands and knees and you're crawling around and you're trying to tune your drums, you're not going to be successful because you're not comfortable. Got your drum key with you. Gonna have to have a drum stick so we can strike the drum. What we want to do is first take and center the drum head on the drum shell. Okay, and get all the tension rods finger tight. Now on our drums, on the DW drums, the Collector's series, we have a note inside the drum that tells you what the shell note is. You can also check it by tapping the shell and getting a relative idea. We're going to tune the bottom head first. The whole idea of tuning to the shell is to tune that bottom head as close to the shell as you can. So it's a recommendation I'm making. And then when we turn the top head over, depending on if you want the drum to pitch, bend, and fall, we'll tune that batter head slightly sharp of there. Depending on how much energy you put into the drum, you can tune it as far as a minor third above the bottom head. But let's just start off real easy. Get these tension rods all square, meaning centered, and then we want to start tensioning in a diagonal pattern. And we want to keep working the wrinkles out of the head, okay? Take like a cloth or a napkin and just keep it nice and even. All right. We also want to listen to just listen to the drum. You can hear the one that's a little bit lower. Slightly there. You hear the drum starting to sing. A little high there. Okay. Okay, so we got our bottom head nice and close. Now we're going to take the batter head and do the same thing, only we're going to want to try and bend this bad boy a little bit, so we might want to tune that slightly higher. So what we're going to do is push it down, make sure it's sitting on there nice and centered, and do the same thing. Diagonally. So we want to take this batter head slightly higher. Now see what we got here. Now, this is going to be tuning to taste, so to speak. So if you find that you want it to bend even more, Well, then let's make sure that bottom head is nice and even and nice and relative to the shell, and we'll bring that top head a little bit higher. On floor toms, we typically want a much straighter kind of tone, so I'm going to leave this right about in this range. Next drum we'll do is going to be the snare drum. Okay, now we got ourselves the snare drum. This is totally loose. Everything is got to be done here. Now what's really important is making sure that we're centered on the shell. This is the stainless steel variety here. So let's see what we got. Get all the lugs just finger tight first using our Lazy Susan turntable here. And what we're going to do is, since it's a 10 lug snare, we're going to start, let's say we start here. And let's give it, just because it's a very loose head, let's give it 5 turns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we're going to go diagonally across to the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we're going to skip a lug and go clockwise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then diagonally across the shell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skip a lug clockwise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Diagonally. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skip a lug clockwise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then diagonally. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skip a lug clockwise. 3, 4, 5. Diagonally. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you kind of get the idea that we're now coming back to where we started. So we want to see. We want it to be in a higher end for the snare side head, so we want to be in a range somewhere like right about here. And since I've got us down pretty even, we can go from lug to lug. Pretty close. Hold the snares up off the head. Hear the difference there? 3, 4. Then we'll go to the other side. Okay, so we're getting it, we want to get it as even as possible. And then around the area of the snare bed, it's really important to try and get that even. Well, I'll tell you, this turntable really, really helps. Okay, so got ourselves pretty even all the way around. Another reason that I'm hitting little rim shots here is because the same place where I strike over the tension rod will be the same distance in with the tip of my finger, so we're not all over the place with where I'm hitting the shell. Now, go to the top head. On this drum, we've conveniently put the numbers on it, so all you basically have to do is get everything started, get everything nice and finger tight, and then we'll start once again with number 1. Then to number 2. 5. Then skip a lug clockwise. 3, 4. 4, 5, then skip a lug clockwise, skip a lug, then go diagonally rather, skip a lug clockwise, diagonally again. I'm just following the numbers that are written on the head. Okay, now another thing is we want to keep making sure that this is seating properly by pushing down on the head. Okay, let's get an idea for where we are. lug to lug. Trying to get them as even as possible. We've gotten pretty even here. Now I want to see about our snare tension. We're pretty good and close there. Let's see what we got. That's a good starting place for a snare drum. Now, of course, I'm just giving you where I would tune this drum right now. You might have the needs for it to be a lot lower. You might have the needs for it to be a lot hotter than that. But this is a good medium range to start with the tuning of this drum. Okay, now we've got the bass drum in front of us. Basically, bass drum, basically, I want to get the head on there nice and snug so the wrinkles have come out. You'll see that the wrinkles in the front of the head. We want to make sure that once we've got it finger tight that we are actually going diagonally. I use a quasi beater here, and we're going to go across the drum. Work those wrinkles out. And make sure that we go diagonally across so we get a nice even tension. I like that front head to be just slightly higher, just slightly, because you're resonating with this head. Now, bass drums are different than snares and toms because we've got padding inside. We've got a pillow inside the drum. So we're dampening the drum as we're tuning. And we want to get it as nice and even as possible. We've got the wrinkles out and we're pretty even right here in the front. Now, for the batter side, want to do the same thing. Let's make sure that we're all finger tight here. Everything is copacetic. You're comfy. You're standing up. You're not crouched over the drum, all uncomfortable. Just get it finger tight here, where we can start using our mallet. And we're basically going to start, once again, getting these wrinkles out. Wrinkles are coming out of the drum, and you'll start to hear it come up to a pitch. Make sure that that padding is in there just touching the front head and just touching the back head. That's what we're going to do today. Sure, there are other ways to dampen bass drums, but we're going to use this conventional method for today. Once again, there are many different ways, subjective ways to tune these drums. I'm just giving you basically what we do here at DW to prepare the drums for shipping. Now hear us starting to come up to pitch. Okay, now the flappiness is going away. You can hear the pitch starting to come up to a nice. Okay, we're trying to work all these wrinkles out. Pretty even pitch. That's a good starting place right there. Of course, you may want it to be a little bit higher, you may want it to be a little bit lower, but we're really just trying to get ourselves set up so the drums are playable and we can make those decisions later. So this, I believe, is a good place where you can now take this drum and insert it into your kit and see how you like it for a good starting place to get your whole kit going. So remember, when you receive drums from the DW factory, we pre-tune each drum. So we go through this part, so hopefully by the time they get all the way across the United States or the world, wherever you might live, they are relatively set up so that you can put them together and start playing. So from us to you, I hope this helped you out, and good luck with tuning your drum kit.